Running a bit late out to the stand tonight, but it's not a huge deal. Typically don't see deer till right around sunset where I'm going, which I think is typical. But getting our stuff together here. Hopefully it doesn't rain on us. It would be a real bummer. We're gonna bring our jacket just in case, but we're trying to get out there now. We're going ninja stealth mode tonight. First time wearing this. I typically just wear a hat, but seems pretty good. I have no idea how I'm gonna set this camera up in the stand. Planning on sitting in a tree tonight. Ground would be easy, but I don't really have a bunch of room in my tree stand, and the tripod that I have doesn't connect to anything or anything like that, so don't really know how I'm gonna set it up, but all right, I've seen some deer feeding out at this tree, and they enter the woods right around here somewhere. I kind of just want to look around before I get to the stand to see if I can see that entry point or not. Rained since I've been in here, so hopefully my seat's not too wet. But that's kind of where the deer came from last time. Also got a little blind here, a trail that comes that way. So we'll see what we got going on. Last time it was coming this way, right? So it was blowing from the north and blowing south. This time it's blowing the opposite way, which last time was blowing right where I thought, well, I didn't think the deer were gonna come from that way, but it ended up blowing right into their face. This time it's blowing the opposite way of where the deer came from last time, so hopefully they'll keep coming from that direction, and it should be good. I have no idea how I'm gonna set up this tripod. I have very little room up here. This climber stand's not very big, but hopefully I'll be able to set it up in a way that'll be good. You know, I always laugh at myself as kind of a newish hunter, a hunter that doesn't go a whole bunch. Every time an acorn falls or a pine cone falls or something like that, I'm whipping my head around to see if it's a deer or something like that. When I know in my head, like, you know, you start hearing that consistent, like, little bit of crunch. And these things are ninjas in the freaking woods, man. You typically don't even hear them, but when you do hear them, you know, it's this consistent crunch, right? But I still hear these one-off crunches, and I'm like, oh, whoa. I just find it kind of laugh at myself sometimes. I'm checking back in that spot right there, because I have another spot on the side of this field that I see a whole bunch of deer, and I kind of want to see if they cross over there into these woods, because I can't see that from where I sit over there. But really, we're looking for deer coming from, hold on, let me flip you around, either back here, and they'll cross down right there, or come from right here and walk in, and hopefully either come in there, or I can shoot them right there, or possibly cross from that woods over there and drop down into here, into here. Starting to rain out. Brought the raincoat out for that reason though, so we should be good as long as it doesn't start downpouring. I have no idea how that affects deer movement. Hopefully it doesn't affect it much. Kind of coming right to that point where, you know, it's starting to get to that point where they're going to start moving here. Just had 5 deer across that field that I just showed. I don't know if you can see it or not. I just checked the wind again since it's raining in case it moved, or because it kind of seems like it's swirling. And right where those deer came from, the wind's now going that way, so they were running through that field, maybe winded me. Possibly could have just been kind of go cruising through the field because of the rain. I don't really know. They didn't blow at me or nothing, but seeing if they circle back around before dark here. Okay, not all the way dark yet, but if you just heard that, we got some lightning on the way. I just seen a flash out in front of me. And I'm sitting in a metal tree stand, so I think I'm gonna hop down a little bit early and possibly work my way to the edge of the field. But possibly also just get back to the car. I don't really care about getting rained on, but I don't think it would be ideal to get struck by lightning in a tree stand, so. All right, just got back in. Thought we saw those 5 deer, so that was fun. I don't think I got it on video. Maybe one spurting across, but it's probably blurry. But I mean, overall, good sit until it started raining, really. And then, yeah, but I'm happy I saw some deer. That was a possible like stand spot that I had. You know, I was sitting in one piece of woods, then there's field, and there's another piece of woods where the deer cross. And so I've thought about putting my stand on that other side, especially now because I got a deer in the stand that I'm in right now. And so I might flip-flop it and push it to that other side next time, but we'll see. I mean, I'm sure deer come from both ways, so I'm not too worried about it that much. And then they could have just been running because of the rain, you know. Maybe if it's not raining, they walk right into me, so it's not a huge deal. But overall, good hunt. Hope you enjoyed the video.